So I think there might be some catalyst kind of maybe Orion coin is kind of setting up here. And then let me pull back something that's quite interesting. So this guy, Stoneberry, he did kind of post some things from maybe someone else's, but it says one more thing. There's some sort of a FINRA margin call. I don't know if this is actually true or not, but whenever there's a new hype there is over, there's always someone is always kind of creating something new. So I personally don't know. I can't really tell if this is true, but I maybe somebody find out the dates, and 15 plus calendar days 14s instead of C plus 35. So the margin call ends on Jan 21st, which is on Tuesday. Same day the Gen 17 in the money call options require delivery for the assignment. So if that happens, I think that will cause the gamma squeeze. So yeah, the setup is there. Definitely setup is definitely there. It's really depending on how big it's gonna run, and then so let me bring this one here. So this on the right side is 2020. One on the left is 2000. This is 2024, 2025. I'm not gonna show you the whole thing. I already shown you guys so many times. So we are here. We're going through this phase, and then yeah, after this, hit the bottom, find the bottom, and then start to pushing this up, creating up, higher low. But what I noticed that when you look at this C, this hit this point, which will happen here, some sort of a pullback or some sort of a accumulation, and push this up to a higher than C level, which will happen to here, C upper higher than C level. So I call this one as a D phase. And then after that, pull back, and then create another higher level than D phase, which is E phase. So basically, it's kind of creating us something very similar to what it's doing, right? And what happened after that? There's a pullback. But while it's pullback, they left a gap here. You see, there's a gap. Same setup that they're kind of making, and they left a gap here at $32. So I think we are I mean whoever creating this fractals or whoever creating this algo is kind of running same kind of, I think, fractals here. So if this is correct, and also based on the FINRA margin call data, if this is correct, and if this is if there's a possible margin call, and maybe there's a force to deliver shares due to the huge OPEX week last Friday, then this scenario is actually works. So let's see if what happened on Tuesday. But I do expect we are actually at the tipping point where this thing, when you draw a line up here, this is perfectly all lined up. So they're kind of dragging until to the end, and they want to run this thing. And I personally don't know how big it's gonna hit, but my maximum target will be $41. I know it's kind of pointing towards to 46, but when you look at this one, it's actually mimicking this one. So you can't really tell if this is gonna go up to this level. I think there's some sort of I don't know, some volume coming up, and then and then sharply coming down. So I personally think that what they're kind of making here is what do you want to actually pay attention is not the hitting up to 46. It's not about that. It's more about it's gonna create much higher low here, right? So hitting all CDE points, still making higher low, right? Higher, low, higher, low, higher, and low, and then higher, right? That's what's important here. So I need to see when this thing push up, I need to see this gap fill, there's a gap here, same setup here, and I need to see this thing push towards push above $33.60. And then I wanted to see if this will touch this channel box, the top of the channel box, which is about $41 level. And if this break above the channel box and start to pushing this down, then maybe that could also make sense. So something's gonna happen next week. The setup is clearly there. So I cannot tell how much the price will go until next Wednesday. It could be really fast. So Tuesday maybe, I don't know, maybe gap up, and then Wednesday, it could finish either Wednesday or Thursday, and then usually there's a Friday option expiration day, so they're gonna try to crush it down like this, same pattern as this one, right? So in a much more faster algo, if the market makers wants to run this thing, I do expect we're gonna see a gap up on Tuesday. I also will expect Ryan Cohen. I mean, Ryan Cohen doesn't really influence the GameStop fractals. I mean, not fractals. Sorry, the gap up. It's more about the roaring kitty. So I'm expecting a roaring kitty tweets by 8 p.m. on Monday. So we'll see that, and then gap up happen. And then continue going up, and then fill this gap, and then much higher. So I do expect Tuesday, Wednesday we could reach the top. I think more likely I'm thinking about around this range, which is the top of the channel box here. So maybe around $40, something like that. So we'll see if that's possible, which is hitting all this channel box, right? So hitting all this channel box, which will happen to here as well, right? So we'll see, and then push back down, right? So if roaring quit tweets or something happen, margin call, whatever, on Tuesday, there's gonna be a gap up. So they're gonna come down to push to fill the gap, right? So they're gonna try to fill that gap by either this coming Friday or next Monday. I mean next Monday, Jan 27th, and then they're gonna try to push back up. And this time is important thing to look at is that as I mentioned before, I need to see the bottoms are so the stiff, it has to be stiffly moving up, rather than creating channeling into this box. But we need to push things up and creating a sharper incline, and then heading into a gap up phase, which what happened here. This is when RC announced his first stake. This is actually pointing towards February 10th, which is the same clock from the Teddy books, indicating 2 o'clock and 50 minutes. What was the clock here? Let me pull this out. Where's the image? Hold on, I saved it here on my. Okay, there you go. So this is the clock from the Teddy books, and it's pointing towards 2 and 10. And a lot of people speculate that maybe this might be like a month. So a lot of people expect, maybe October or November, maybe Thanksgiving, but apparently it's indicating February, which is it makes sense, and towards 10. So there was the answer, and we are now starting to noticing that. This is a post from Ryan Quinn. He posted about this Cheerio box, and people kind of speculate a bunch of other things, but there's a heart, which is kind of indicating the Valentine's Day, which is also same week as February 10th, right? And there's a buckles 13. So I think something is lining up here. So the GAFA phase is around also the second week of February, which I'm kind of seeing in my chart. Also depending on the market makers or the long forces, how they're gonna control these things. If they want to change their speed of algo. But based on what I'm looking at, it's very possible we're gonna see an announcement on February 10th, and then creating a huge gap up. And then the announcement will be the Bed Bath Beyond returns. I mean BBY returns as a bye-bye baby, or some sort of a emerge from bankruptcy, so Chapter 11. So there will be a shock to the market. I don't know. There's gonna be there's a lot of shows here in the community, and people are start to disappear. Those are the shows who are bashing the BBBY. They start to disappear, same as Doug Sifu. So something is definitely going on. As Donald Trump is gonna go back to the office, and then it makes sense that Ryan Cohen is gonna announce something about maybe possible merger or acquisitions, or maybe first he want to bring that Bed Bath Beyond or Bye Bye Baby, right? He want to bring that the company back from the Chapter 11. And then maybe they'll shock the market. And then basket stock, BBY was also into basket stock as a whole retail sectors. So I think it'll move together. So and then once BBY tickers, BBY ticker was preserved. So there's two scenarios where a lot of the BBY community kind of speculate at this point, which is are we gonna have a cash only as a distribution, or are we going to have both a cash and new equity? I personally believe that we're gonna receive a cash. Of course, cash, but I think there's gonna be some sort of a shares, right? Like it could be warrants or shares. There should be something. It just doesn't make sense. RC just throw only cash just for the distribution. I don't know if ABC is listening, but ABC has been kind of pointing out, and then he was kind of emphasizing that Ryan Cohen doesn't want the market crash. To be honest, ABC, if he's listening, I personally don't think he cares about that. Like, let me share something here, because I have a slightly different opinions than ABC, because I want to show you something here. I think this was the where was this one? I saved a file here, but this one maybe. This was the article from February 2021 after GameStop squeeze. It exposed naked short selling. And then, as you probably heard from the Thomas, what's his name? I forgot his last name, but he was an Interactive Broker chairman, right? He mentioned about how he was so afraid of a domino bankruptcy. I don't think RC really. RC understand, how the market is so rigged, and the system has been so corrupted due to the illegal naked shorting. So I don't know. He cannot really tell how big it's gonna impact to the market, and then, to be honest, I also post this thing here on my post here. Let me just bring that up here. I want to talk about Bitcoin here as a next one, and then interestingly, this guy Finance Lot, he's been posting a lot of bearish stuff, and then he actually also said he's seeing a same thing. I actually made a post here to reply to him, say, hey, big domino bankruptcy is about to happen, and he also says it's topping, Bitcoin, BTC rolling over will warn us, and the market will follow. So he's also seeing the same way, and then I want to show you why. So this is the fractals that I have it here. There's a certain area is kind of slow, certain area is kind of fast. So based on what I'm seeing, because it topped off here, hit the all-time high, 100K, also heading into the bottom, push back up, come back down, and try to push all-time high again, but it's not going to break this level, because that's the level here from here, and you need that much more bigger. I mean, that cycle is pretty much done. Okay, and then many people doesn't like to hear that, but it is what it is. You know, it's run by the market maker, the big guys, and I personally will want to warn people who are trading this one, but like with a huge the margins, so you gotta be careful. But I want to point out that RC, like everyone understand the cycle, I think, and then they're gonna crash them. They're not gonna just like purposely crash the market, but they know, okay, so RC is preparing, and the big forces, like who are maybe the short sellers or illegal naked short sellers or whoever the market makers, they're also preparing for that thing happen, I think. So they create a huge liquidity before Bitcoin halving events happen. Okay, and then when Bed Bath Beyond or BBY, Bye Bye Baby, whatever you want to call that one, if that comes back, that has a huge short interest. When you look at the back from 2021, this is the data that I have it here. GameStop had a highest short interest. The second one is not AMC. Apparently, the second one is Bed Bath Beyond. This is from 2021 Robinhood data. Okay. So which means if BBBY return, that means it's gonna impact the basket stocks, right? So I do think that something is about to happen. I personally disagree with ABC because he's not purposely destroying the market. He's doing what he wants to achieve. That's pretty much it. But it's just that the market is so rigged. And he is also understand the cycle too, I think. And I don't think he only working by himself, right? Even Kawai can work with the 12 or 13 his analysts, right? So I'm sure he has a bunch of other teams that helps him, to show him like which is the right time to do it, along with maybe politicians such as Donald Trump or somebody in power. I don't know. So I don't want to go that far, but so basically, I do think that Bitcoin is already all-time high, as what you see here. I don't think it's gonna break above that one, and then there's gonna be a systematic meltdown, and all the short selling happen, or illegal. All the illegal naked shorts happen. And maybe this year is the time to cover, for them to kind of deliver the shares and all that stuff and cover their short positions. They need the liquidity, and they're gonna pull the liquidity out from the unregulated market, which is Bitcoin. So they did, I think, they did to prepare, so run these things before in advance, before halving. So I do think that is what you're seeing here. People ask, you're retarded. Let me show you why. let me show you what I see here. I already kind of went over this sometime, like maybe a few times, but I don't think everyone looking at this one. But if you guys watching this one, this is kind of what I see here. So this is from 2017, 19. This is 2020, right? When you look at this one, what I noticed something interesting is that RSI, weekly RSI, this is weekly RSI, this is weekly RSI. What I noticed something interesting was this one come back down, right? Push back up. This one come back down, push back up. And then this RSI was extremely overbought territory, right? Which is same as here, same as here. And what happened after that, it has a large pullback, right? From RSI, which what also happened here, okay? And what happened after that? It pushed back up into this overbought territory here, which what also happened here. So when you look at this RSI one more time again, March 2024, which was this level, RSI was overbought territory, pull back down, and then Bitcoin price went all-time high. But the RSI is slower. Let's take a look at this one as an example. 2021 April, the RSI was extremely overbought territory, had a pullback, and then pushed back up again, and then all-time high, which is same setup. I mean, it's slightly different, but kind of, that's kind of, I think what I see here, the same pullback happened, price went up, but the RSI doesn't move higher than this one, which means this is showing the bearish divergence. After that, this thing crashed, and I do think that that's kind of what I see here. So RC, whoever making this whole thing, merger acquisitions, or Donald Trump now get back to the office, approving all those things that RC wanted to do, maybe this is the year. So that's kind of what I see here. We're gonna see I think large crash, and then I think people will realize how Bitcoin is used by I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of scams, right? I mean, there's a lot of talks about this one. Like even the Chinese Evergrande went bankrupt, and then I think some of their assets, or I don't know how much their assets is linked to Tether, and Tether is also linked to BTC. So I don't know. I think this is kind of their way of making liquidity and then pump and dump, So it has a big, huge cycle. So I don't know. I just want to warn people. I don't know how much it will go down, but based on the fractals, all that kind of stuff, it's possible that it's gonna create a higher low here. So it might come down to 24K here. Not this much. I don't think it's gonna hit like 8,000, but I mean, if something bad happened, if something bad happened, but I do think that it's gonna create a higher low like that, right? So that's kind of what I see here. And this is the year that we're gonna see a giant short squeeze in meme basket. So where they're gonna grab the liquidity from? Here. And then it's in the cycle. Same as Nvidia. When you look at Nvidia, for example, it's the same kind of thing that I look at. So let's not look at the chart for 1 second. I want to show you RSI. So the Nvidia RSI, when you look at this RSI here, this thing is kind of making a wedge from the top. RSI all-time high, 2023 May, 2024 March, 2024 June, right? the RSI is coming down. It's making a wedge, perfect wedge. Okay, just remember this one for now, and I'm gonna show you what happened to 2017. In 2017, let's get back to chart a little bit here. 2017, it was kind of pumping up until 2019, or sorry, 2018 October, and they started to crash. The Nvidia crashed about 50%. And then when you take a look at RSI, it's kind of creating a same thing. Okay? It was making a wedge towards down like this. Okay? So something's gonna happen here very soon, within a month or two. Okay? So they're preparing a liquidity event with its Bitcoin. They're gonna pull their liquidity out from Bitcoin and Nvidia. And you already seen it from SMCI, also other some sort of AI or whatever, the quantums, whatever stuff, they're pumping those things. Okay, so you gotta watch out for that. Also, similar thing happened here, 207, right? It was creating a wedge, not like a wedge like this, but very similarly, it was creating a wedge and then start to fall, right? So you're seeing a very similar pattern here, here, here. Okay, so yeah, something's gonna happen. Okay, when you look at the yellow pattern here, let me show you something here as well too. You see this yellow line? You just pay attention to the yellow. You know what? I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna do this. Just pay attention to. I'm gonna just make this one a little bit transparent so you can only see a yellow line. So what I want you to focus on is yellow line. When you look at this yellow line, it hits its top, first top here, overbought territory, which what happened here. The second top was here, which is last year, April, 2016, September. The second top was third top. After it's creating a third top, November 17, right? So this thing crashed October, right? So this is November. The stock price is still here, but it's already kind of created. So the stock price was already moving higher, but RSI is kind of showing it's about to crash. It's getting lower. You see a lot of filings coming up from CEO from Nvidia. They're selling, right? Insiders are selling. So what you also want to see is that this one already hit 30 times. And what happened after that? There's going to be a crash, right? So that's 207, right? That's 2018-17. Let's take a look at this one. Same thing happened here. First time, all-time high, and then it's getting lower, but another RSI overbought territory, so it's creating a 1, 2, 3, and crash. So after this thing hits third times, all-time high, and then crash coming. So RSI is kind of building up here already, and then preparing for crash. Okay, so when you draw a wedge, it hit perfectly atop. It's about to come back down. So I do expect that some sort of a biggest market crash. I don't know how much actually in the history of Wall Street. like it could be like maybe it could be some sort of a 207 style, or it could be a 2018 style, or it could be a 209 the dot-com bubble style. I personally don't know how, what kind of style they're gonna play out, but this year is gonna be a year that you're gonna see like people freak out about like, oh shit, like it's gonna crash, something like that. Okay, and who knows, they might blame the retail investors again, oh yeah, it's because the retail investor, but maybe, who knows, maybe this time there's a fraud. There's a reason why now Donald Trump putting the new guy, the Cash, as a director of I think he was like a FBI or something, right? At the FBI, he's kind of doing something. So yeah, he's gonna find out all the fraud in the system. So I think they're already set up. They're not gonna fuck around here. So and then BBY also as well. RC hire a law firm who work for the Bernie Madoff case, and then he successfully like caught the Bernie Madoff cases, right? So there's gonna be a huge fraud will come out in the market. I don't know what kind of fraud it is. Maybe fraud that we don't expect. Maybe cases that some sort of a, I don't know, some financial fraud, I think. And then maybe the markets will do the best to really hide these things, but that's kind of where we at. We are the end of it, and we're about to see a crash. And that's the thing, and that's the reason why that I'm against with ABC theory that Bed Bath Beyond will only return cash, just because Ryan Cohen will not tank the market. It's already preparing to tank the market like crazy, like a 207 or dot-com bubble style. Okay, so I don't think you should worry about that kind of stuff. It's already in that cycle. Market makers already prepared for that. So I do expect not only just cash for the Bed Bath Beyond, but also equity. And when the equity coming out from Bed Bath for BBBY as a bye-bye baby, I do expect that a huge market crash because of the naked short selling that they did, and they're gonna find out the fraud from here. So that's kind of Nvidia right now, and based on what I'm tracking here, let me see. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I see here, and then maybe come back up and pull back or something like that. Yeah, I mean, Nvidia is just tipping points. It's about to like do something, right? It's about to like collapse. So I think, yeah, Nvidia is about here. Yeah, Nvidia is about here. So I think BBBY might come out by March, right? And it says from March to April, that's when we're gonna see that, right? Meltdown. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, for example, here. Based on the fractals, Bitcoin is trying to go all-time high again, and then people will be like, wow, this is new bull market, right? They're gonna jump into it, but they have no idea if this is the final moment. And then maybe you're a lucky guy, or you're a lucky person if you're hearing this, Anyway, so yeah, from Jan 29th, from next Tuesday, interestingly, Bitcoin will went all-time high, and then it's gonna crash. It's gonna come down, and then January 29th, Bitcoin will start to fall, and it's gonna crash like crazy, like that, like really fast on end of February, Feb 26, Feb 28. Okay, so during this time, I think between February, March, they're gonna start to liquidate the Bitcoin assets, in my opinion. Okay, so we don't have a lot of time right now. It's coming out really fast. So that's January, February, March. So it makes sense that they liquidate their assets before BBY comes back, because they need the money to cover their short positions, right? So they're gonna liquidate end of February, they're gonna liquidate end of January, twice. And from here to here, that's pretty much 40% down. So it makes sense, because right now Bitcoin is about $2 trillion market cap. So if you minus 40%, I mean, maybe that's enough for BBY to cover shorts, right? And not only that, there's GameStop, AMC, right? It's not done yet. So yeah, let's see if my analysis actually correct, because a lot of people, there are some people who like what I'm seeing. There are people who see what I see, like Finance Lot, or some other guys who are doing their own technical analysis. Actually, I want to show you the Dogecoin as well. So maybe I'll start with this one. So this is my analysis, not financial advice, of course, but what I noticed here is that there's a lot of hype, right? And then this is just me. I might be wrong. Maybe maybe you could this thing get into bull market and maybe just squeeze, right? Like rally, like squeeze. But I personally think that we are not the time yet, because you need to I'm pretty sure the listeners are already experts of a meme basket. You guys understand the history of what's going on and what's going to happen from BBBY. And this year, right? A BBY shareholder has been waiting for almost 2 years. And then it makes sense. Now it's time. Donald Trump get back to the office. RC announced his merger acquisitions or possible acquisitions of NOLs or whatever's, coming out from the Chapter 11, Bed Bath Beyond, BBY. So anyway, like the setup is clearly there, and if that happens, that will damage the market. That will damage the market. That the illegal naked short sellers, market makers, whoever illegally rigged the system with the liquidity that doesn't exist, or the shares that doesn't exist, whatever they fucked around, or using swaps or whatever or illegal activities they do, is gonna come out this year, I think, based on my fractals, based on my chart. Therefore, the crypto market needs the much more liquidity for the things to push to the upside. But because the market cycle is not 100% healthy, I don't know healthy is the right word, but it's not ready for a huge rally like 2020. I personally don't think we are there yet. And then I know maybe people bashing me that maybe that's not gonna be true. And I want to show you something interesting, that when you look at the Dogecoin as examples, I did notice that this is 2019, right? This is 2021. This thing went all-time high, right? And then huge pullback, right? And then this one also had a huge pullback. And then what I've noticed is that this thing starts to push things up, but it doesn't hit this area at all. But this thing in 2020 July, this thing popped and then perfectly line up here, right? Creating a wedge and trying to be ready for the next bull run. When you line this up, from the top from 2021, from the top last year, it's creating a perfect wedge, and that wedge ends on 2027 November. So which means that they create these fractals, like they amplify this one, and they're gonna maybe it could be market maker, it could be Elon Musk, or it could be someone else. Maybe somebody used the Doge to pump the liquidity, right? To make it look like we are heading into a like 2020 a crazy bull run. However, like I said, because this year we're gonna find out the fraud, we're gonna find out the systematic, the fraud activities in the finance market. So they need to pump the liquidity before those events happens, right? So they need to pump this thing up in this phase, and they're gonna rug pull them, in my opinion. So once those things and this is also looking bad for Donald Trump, but still we're gonna see this on 2027. Trump is gonna be still there, so we're gonna see a bull run there. But I think early, especially when he first started like this year, I think there's gonna be a battle, right? And this year is the battle year that RC has been prepared his own. Donald Trump prepared his own. Whoever the Q members, right? Whoever the 17 members prepare their own, they're gonna do something here, right? And this is the year, I think, is the year you're gonna see a crazy news. We only enter just January, we see already the fire in LA. It's so sad to see that. Also, airplane crash in South Korea. More than 200 people died. This is really weird time, I think. And I've seen also a news that even Africa, they're getting the wildfire, a very similar situation as LA. And something is really happening here, and it's just makes me sick to look at those news anymore. It's just crazy. So anyway, so that's kind of what I'm looking at here. The Dogecoin is creating a wedge. The market makers, or whoever not long, but whoever hedge funds or wants to pump the liquidity to make it look like we're heading into a bull market. However, they're giving us hints, which is it's creating a bigger wedge. Okay, and I do think that this thing will hit this bottom here, this level, and then by 2027 November, that's when we're gonna see a run. So I think this year is the year that they're gonna clear out some of the fraud, they're gonna clear out some of the illegal activities in the finance world, and then once this thing already wiped out, and then they want to start fresh, right? GameStop, AMC still needs to be squeezed. BBY hasn't returned yet, right? If those, and they need to run this thing, they need to wipe out the fraud activities. They need to squeeze them out, and then market comes back to maybe slightly normal, right? There's too many frauds going on, and Trump has to wipe them out. And this is the year, I think 2025 is the year that they're gonna wipe those guys out, and then start fresh, reset the market. There's too many dirt in the markets, and they have to clean that up, right? They have to wipe them out, right? And once that market is cleared up, then it's good to go. And that's 2027, in my opinion, for the Doge. So we'll see. I think that's pretty much it. AMC as a one last one. I want to bring the post here. 1 second. So I want to bring the previous post I made, Gen 16. So Wolf of Wall Street, the Wolf of My Street, he kind of posted this one, like there's AMC's kind of, finishing with their offering, but it still needs more, I think 30 million more to go. and then I post this one, and this was post on from January 16. AMC was trying to moving up, right? And then when you look at the chart again, now AMC is falling, right? It hit this perfectly and falling. So which means that it's tracking perfectly 2020, right? And it's creating a perfect wedge, right? So this is 2020, I believe, October, I think. Yeah, this is October. So, oh, sorry. So this is 2020 October. We're still a few months away from 2021 January squeeze cycle. But because it's creating a perfect wedge, which what it's showing up here right now, and then as you know, the GameStop is also kind of heading into that kind of phase, gap up phase, right? I want to talk about that, right? So the gap up happened here. So when you bring the chart over here, fractals here, the gap up also happened to be on February 10th, which is when the Teddy clock happens, right? Same time when GameStop also gap up is the February 10th. So I think I do think that there's going to be a huge gap up by second week of Monday, February 10th, right? And then this thing just shot up, right? Like let's say, BBY chapter 11 exit or something, something like just impact the basket stocks, and then short be like, okay, fuck, we got to cover. And they just cover, and then boom, skyrocketed, like what happened to May, right? When Roaring Kitty tweets, this is what happened, it was as fractals creating like that, and then when this time to run, just pop, and they use same fractals as this one, right? It's just kind of interesting, isn't it? So I do think that watch out for that second week of 10th. I know people play options. They might waiting for that time. AMC option has been kind of declining as this thing China going downward a little bit. Just watch out for February 4th if anybody who's looking for that right timing. This is not financial advice, but I'm just kind of letting you know if you're looking for maybe better entry, right? Let's take a look at the AMC options, right? So let's take a look at February 21st. So yeah, like right now, it's still very cheap. So let's say if GameStop gap up February 10th, and then going into the $100 level, which is the last 2021 peak here, right? So I don't know if this gonna heading to that much, but I think we might at least retest the May run or even higher. But anyway, we're gonna have some sort of a huge gap up and then pull back down. So so February 20th, I don't know if this gonna go all the way even higher, but anyway, like depends on the speed as well, so it's hard to tell. But anyway, if this thing gap up on second week of February, I do think that is gonna create this kind of ups and down, and then they're gonna do ups and down, and they're gonna start to like kill the option premium, right? They're gonna it's like they go up and go down, go up, go down. It's like, and then they're killing the theta decay. They're also destroying the the premium. So it's like eating up, right? And then boom, right? So I'll probably wait for that time where this thing hit the bottom, and also right before gap up. I think that will be the right moment. So just watch out for between February 4th or February 5th, and then also February 10th. So watch out for the first week and second week of first week of February. First week of February, 4th, 5th, 6th, 10th. Yes. So first week of February will be I think a time where maybe it's a good time to maybe buy some call options. Not financial advice. So if February 10th, yeah, it's already, yeah. Imagine like this is the price right now, and imagine AMC will go down even more, and then I forgot to turn up the gap, but there's a gap here. They're gonna try to fill this gap at $3. There's a $3 between $3, slightly at 2.97. So they're gonna come down, fill that gap that was made from back in May 14, and a huge squeeze. I think they're gonna do something similar. So they might create a gap here at $3.25, and then gap up squeeze, and then they're gonna do all this thing kind of stuff. And I do think that there's going to be another huge potential share offering end of March, and then come back down and fill this gap here. So just watch out for that. So and then after that, heading into a June squeeze, May or June squeeze, depending on the speed of algo. But for now, that's kind of what I'm seeing here. So for now, I want to only focus on this one. So I'm not going to worry about the June call options. I'm going to worry about February call options, and let's take a look at option chains. So yeah, February 14 is maybe risky, so I'm gonna watch out for Feb 18. For Feb 28. So I mean, it's slightly above, like, yeah. So yeah, maybe Feb 28 or March 21st, maybe $10, right? It's still just, yeah. I mean, it's just cheap, but you know, when this thing hits like $3, it'll get crashed. So you know, market maker want to crash this as much as they can until they're gonna squeeze this thing. So yeah, just watch out for the February first week of February for the cheap call options, and then maybe that's the time. So yeah, I think I want to aim for March 21st call options to be safe, or February 28th. So I'm gonna look for this one, and then yeah, but I think March 21st will be much better. And then June call option, I'm not gonna worry about this one right now. June call option, I think it's still pricey. So what they're gonna do, I think they're gonna kill this June call options here. After February gap up squeeze, they're gonna kill off June call options here in April, March. End of March, April, there's gonna be a crash in my opinion. Let's take a look at the Doge as an example here. March is here. April, yeah, March, April, there's gonna be crash in Doge as well. Also Bitcoin, let's take a look at Bitcoin. If there's gonna be a crash from March, April, yeah, February, March, April, yes, Bitcoin is gonna crash also. Let's take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia also will crash from March to April, right? Everything crash between March, April. I have no fucking idea what the market makers plan is, but something's gonna happen between March and April. But my personal feeling is it's cause of a BBBY, I think. I might be wrong, or it might be some catalyst. I don't know, some catalyst like events, or some weird events, right? Something's gonna happen between March, April, and crash the market, and then that's the time that AMC is gonna crash. And then because the market makers and maybe I don't know, Adam Aaron, I don't know, I don't think Adam Aaron understand that, but somebody will tell Adam Aaron, hey, dilute here, and I think he's gonna dilute because, or they know, market will crash anyway, so might as well just use that opportunity just to crash it, right? So I think there's gonna be a what do you call that, like dilutions, another share offering, big share offering, because this is the fractals where a huge share offering happened from AMC, and they're into January squeeze. So So I don't really care about June call options, to be honest. I mean, if you're looking for something safe, maybe. I'm not really interested in June call option right now because they're gonna destroy the call options here if they going through the same fractals as you can see here. So I'll be probably focused on March and end of February. And then once I get out, maybe buy put options and then maybe take some profit there. But yeah, just watch out for anything you own. Just watch out for that March, April, and then same thing. And once they hit the bottom in AMC, it's probably hit the bottom around end of April and maybe April 25th, something like that. And then I want to see AMC hit the bottom by end of April, and I want to see AMC start to making higher low like that. I want to see that. I want to see all these points and then pull back here, and then I want to see until May, first week of May, how they're forming this, because the speed of algo tend to also change. Sometimes if the market mercs decide to run this thing maybe a month after, right? Maybe in June, maybe July, right? But I think so. That's why I want to see some confirmation before I buy call options for AMC in this area. And this will be the January squeeze. That this is a cycle. So a huge short squeeze is gonna happen in my opinion. And then I don't know how big it's gonna be, but I think it's gonna be a very big, and something's gonna happen here too. So we'll see. But for now, let's just focus on this one. It's creating a perfect wedge from here all the way from the top and then to the top, and this one, right? And then they're gonna run this thing all. Isn't it crazy how this thing is all kind of matching? Very interesting, isn't it? So I do believe that that's what RC is also doing too. RC is also working with, I think, a bunch of smart, very intelligent and experienced analysts telling him when is the right time to launch BBBY. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I think we are very close. Teddy clock is ticking. Trump's got back to the office. Now we are just sit here and wait for the show. So hope to have you guys good rest of the weekend. And then I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.